Hi, kindergarten friends. Miss Luia here. I'm going to do a craft with you today. So you might have heard my read aloud today, Pete the Cat, Big Easter Adventure. And so the craft we're going to make is a little Pete the Cat Easter helper. So if you listen to this book, or maybe you have it at home, you know that Pete the Cat helps the Easter Bunny in this story. So we're going to make a little Pete the Cat face Easter Bunny helper. I have one here that I already made so I could show you the finished product. See how it kind of looks like the Pete in the book. So now I'm going to teach you how to make it. So with this Pete the Cat, you can see I used marker. If you don't have marker at home, this next Pete the Cat that I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to use crayon so you can see the difference. So that one I used marker. This one I'm going to use crayon. You can really use whatever you have at home. That's the great thing about this simple craft. So the first thing you need to do is cut out your materials. Or actually, let's rewind. The first thing you need to do is get all your materials. And I would like you to do this with an adult there because it does include scissors. So make sure you have scissors. You're going to need some tape or glue. I don't have glue, so I'm going to just use tape. And then you're also going to need paper. If you have colored paper, black paper, yellow paper, and pink paper, and white paper, then you can use the colored paper and you don't even have to color at all. If you only have white paper, like Miss Luia, I only have white, so you will need paper and then also the black, yellow, and pink crayons or markers. And that's only if you're using white paper. Okay, so next you need to cut out all your shapes for Pete the Cat. So if we look at Pete the Cat's face, he has kind of an oval face. So you're going to need to cut out an oval. And Miss Luia already colored her oval black. But first you're going to need to cut out an oval. If we look at Pete's ears on his head, not the bunny ears, his actual ears, what shape are those? Triangles, yeah. So you're gonna need 2 triangle ears. I haven't colored mine in yet. So 2 triangle ears. And then if we look at Pete's eyes, those are what shape? Ovals. So you're gonna need 2 smaller ovals. Okay, 2 small ovals. And then if we look at Pete the Cat's nose, it kind of looks like a triangle, but it has rounded edges. So I'm going to show you how to make that, but you're going to start with a little triangle. Okay, so you'll need a little triangle. The last thing are the big bunny ears. What shape are those? Yeah, they're kind of like big ovals. Okay, they are like big ovals. So we're going to have 2 skinny big ovals for the Easter bunny ears. Okay, all right, so now you should have all your materials cut out, all your shapes cut out for his face. If you need to pause my video so you can cut, go for it right now, but I'm gonna keep going to the next step, okay? All right, so the next step is you need to color the head, which I already did, and the ears, which I'm gonna do now, okay? You wanna make sure they're black. So like I said, you can use crayon, or marker, or if you have colored pencils, you could use that. If you wanted to get really adventurous and you have paint at home, you could use paint, but make sure you check with your parents first. All right, I got 1 ear colored. And if you can see, I'm doing it on a little piece of scrap paper so I don't get my crayon all over my table. All right, there's 2 ears colored black. All right, the next thing is you're gonna tape the ears onto the head. So you wanna make sure you tape them behind like this, okay? And now I'm gonna put the tape right on the back. So I'm gonna put just a little piece. You don't need a ton of tape. Little piece on, oops, both the ears. Right, and Pete's ears are a little bit spread out. They're not really close together, because we need to remember we have to fit the bunny ears on there too. So we're gonna keep them a little bit apart, just like that. Okay, so there's his head. and his ears. Next, we are going to color the eyes. Now the eyes are a little funny. If you notice, Pete has mostly yellow eyes, but he has a little ring of black and then a little dot of white. So I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? So first I'm going to take my black crayon with my eye, okay? And I'm going to draw where that little white spot is going to be like this. And then I'm going to draw a ring around it. So it's going to look like this. So I have a little ring at the top, and that's going to be my white spot up there. And then I have a ring down here, and then I'm going to color the black in between. So under that little white dot, it's going to be black like that, okay? Then you're going to color all of this yellow. Right, so now I'm going to grab yellow and color the rest of the bottom of the eye. Remember, don't color that little white spot at the top. We're just coloring underneath where we drew the black. Okay, so that pretty much all of it is yellow, like that. Okay, it looks a little funny right now, but I promise it'll look better once it's all together. So now I'm going to do the other one the same way. So I start with one little curve. That's going to be my white spot. Then I do another little curve underneath. Color in between. This is with my black crayon. So it looks like that. Then I'm going to color the rest of it yellow. But we're going to leave that little white spot white. That has to stay white. All right. Make sure when you're coloring, you're doing 3-star coloring. Okay, make sure you color all the white the best you can. Fill in all the white spots. There. All right, so now we have 2 Pete eyeballs. Oops, going the wrong way. All right, the next part we're gonna do is the nose. So remember I said we're gonna start with a little triangle, and now we just have to round the edges. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. Okay, so you just round, you kind of cut off the point like that. And you're gonna do that all the way around. Cut off the little point. See how it's starting to round? And cut off that little point. Then we have our rounded nose. Now we're gonna glue the eyes and the nose onto our Pete, okay? So Pete has some big eyes, and they almost touch. So if we look back at the cover, see how in the middle, they almost touch. So you want your eyes to almost touch, just like the illustrator made his Pete the cat for the book. So there's one, and again, I'm using tape, but if you have glue sticks at home, you could use glue sticks. Miss Lulia doesn't have any glue sticks, so I'm just gonna use some tape. And it works just the same. All right, so there are my eyeballs. See my little Pete coming together? And his eyeballs don't touch, so I left that little space right in the middle. Now I'm gonna put my nose on, and if we look back, does his nose point up or does it point down? It points down, you're right. So we gotta make sure when we put our nose, we don't want it pointing up, we want it pointing down. All right. All right, so there is a little Pete. So if you wanted to make just a plain Pete, there it is. Now, we are gonna make ours into Easter Bunny Pete because he helped the Easter Bunny. Okay, so now we have to do our ears. So the easiest way to do this is to actually tape it on first before we do the pink in the ear. okay? Because if you notice, the inside of the ears have a little bit of pink, okay? But I promise you it'll be easier if we tape it on first. So Miss Louie is gonna do that. I'm gonna put just a little bit of tape, or if you're using glue, a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot of tape or a lot of glue. Right? And they go right in the middle of his pointy ears. Okay, so cats have those little black ears, and then the bunny ears go right in the middle with a little space. Okay, right in the middle, and then see how I have a little space. And in the back, it's just all taped like that. Okay, I'm actually gonna put one more piece on because it's kind of flopping everywhere. Let's do one more little piece. All right, now we're gonna draw the pink on the inside, okay? So I'm gonna do one first and then you can copy me, okay? So it really is just like an upside down U, like that. See how I drew it with my pink? And now I'm just gonna color that in. So it's a big upside down U, and then you color it in. All right. There. So there's one pink part done. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So it's big upside down U on the other side. And then we color it in. All right. And there we have it. A little Pete bunny. And now I have one with crayon and one with marker. So now you can hang them in your door. You could do a little retell of the story with your little puppets. You could try to make a headband out of it if you want us to get creative, or even a mask. You could poke some eyeballs in it, some eye holes. But here are your little Pete the Cat Bunny helpers. I hope you have a great Easter, friends. Have fun.